Everyone mentioned today is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and everything I discuss here is theory until proven fact, even if it is.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I can change, my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win in life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, I'll go out in a max, I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel until the red pill. I know life's short, so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
That'd be me, Shannon.
They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't playing no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood jack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the track, right, I just feel got me hazy. About to unpack all the shit I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seeds as I spread with every word that I've said.
Love it. How's it supposed to feel?
How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? Okay, let's go through the chat. Who we got in here today? We have, I know Out to Lunch was in there. Deb's there. Alex is in here. We got me, of course. Wouldn't be a show without me now, would it? I'd be listening to dead air. Kai, how you going? Meg Aussie, how you going? You watch later? Oh, God, love you. Are you working? We got Kai, we got Shannon. And we got, who else we got? Oh, my brats, is that MRE there? My brats 2, can you tell me if you are MRE? I think it is. I got Mobrats 1 confused last time and called him MRE. So, Michelle App, how you going? Good to see you guys. Every one of you. Flyby Stew, how you going? Unequally Chris, how you going? Sherry, how you going? Good to see you guys. Okay. Let's get into a little bit of news. Oh, and Dealey. I can see the chat. The thing earlier was, Alex, I put my comment in about plumbing. I said, hey, Out to Lunch, Deb and Alex, I'll be with you shortly. Drains are blocked. I think the plumbing here is forked. And then it disappeared and it just said, have Truth Seeker with nothing after it. Then I refreshed it and my comment came back. But what happens with the ones that are timed out and that, I don't get to see them. I don't know why. Maybe it's something in YouTube settings? Okay, let's get into... Oh, I better refresh it because it's been bookmarking like crazy. I think I've got enough to make it a bigger than a short live stream. Anyway, does anyone remember this stuff? Okay, just let me refresh your memory.
Wow, thank you for the likes. Thank you for the hearts. Ice cream so good. Yummy hot dog. GG, GG. Thank you for the likes. Ice cream so good.
That is the biggest NPC shit I've ever seen in my life. Oh my goodness. And Timmy's here as well. And who else is? Is it Renee? I can't read it from here. But do you remember this gang BS that people were doing for money on TikTok, I think it was? Yeah, biggest NPCs I've ever seen in my life. What the hell even is this, says Peppy Pizza. Yeah, this is something called Gang, I think it's called. Yeah. I don't know if it's coming back, but God help us all. That is some of the most mind-numbing shit I've ever seen in my life. Okay, anyway, let's keep going. Pat Stedman, dating and relationship coach, said, and this was Trump's plan all along. You cut off the left's financial flows, start slam-dunk fraud investigations, begin deporting their voting bloc, slowly undermining their narratives, and eventually they have no choice but to pull the civil war trigger themselves. The emotionally incontinent on this website were screaming all year that Trump had to arrest people day one, not understanding this was a siege, and the route to long-term political dominance lay in not only attriting the enemy before battle, but developing the moral high ground to fight in the first place. This is why it takes so long. The left's choices are now slowly and get picked off one by one or throw it all on one last dice roll while you still have some assets to deploy. They are the ones who are desperate, not Trump. They are about to give him the political capital to deploy the military against them and destroy them utterly and completely, not just their networks, but their entire narrative. By the time it's over, less than 20% of the public will support the left, and Trump will have the ability to reshape this country and our destiny. All of you influencers who said Trump didn't know what he is doing are either idiots, grifters, or simply lack the tension control to lead. You should have trusted the plan. You should have trusted Trump. And this is in response to Labrador Skeptic. People wonder if and when Trump will cross the Rubicon. They're watching the wrong bank. The Dems are crossing the Rubicon in great numbers. Jeffries is threatening the entire administration and ICE with jail time less than a year into office. America, as we knew it, is over. And Hakeem Jeffries said, reminder to all members of the Trump administration, the incitement and engagement in state violence against the American people is a serious crime. Donald Trump will leave office long before the 5-year statute of limitation expires. You are hereby put on notice. And it's in response to Homeland Security. Reminder to all ICE officers, you have a federal immunity in the conduct of your duties. Anyone who lays a hand on you or tries to stop you or tries to obstruct you is committing a felony. You have immunity to perform your duties, and no city official, no state official, no illegal alien, no leftist agitator or domestic insurrectionist can prevent you from fulfilling your legal obligations and duties. The Department of Justice has made clear that if officials cross the line into obstruction, into criminal conspiracy against the United States or against ICE officers, they will face justice. Hakeem Jeffries is just, I don't know, trying to float above the water there, I think, by trying to... Well, not only that, he's helping them not to get elected again. But it was Trump's plan all along. He has to do it the right way. That's what he's doing. And it happens to take a bit longer than the way the Democrats do things. And that's what we are sitting here watching, I believe, anyway. Craig Kelly said, countdown to Australia Day, 26th of January. On this day, 238 years ago, on January the 18th, 1788, the first of the 11 ships of the First Fleet under the command of Captain Arthur Phillip, the H-MAT Supply, arrived in Botany Bay. The supply anchored at Yarra Bay and Captain Phillip came ashore at around 3 p.m. Today, a monument marks the spot where he first landed. And everyone's going to protest on Australia Day. Big protest planned. So there we go. Barron Trump news. Now take this with a grain of salt. I don't know. A laptop was found. Not Hunter's, not Nancy's. This one was quietly collected from a DC hotel room 2 nights ago. It had no password, but it had names. We'll see. Take it with a grain of salt because I don't know who this is. It is a parody Barron Trump news account, okay? So take it with a grain of salt, but apparently they may have found another one. By the way, does anyone remember the first arrest? Will signal... first arrest will signal something. Hang on one sec. My memory's not that good. Okay. Ignore and proceed. First arrest. Just let me get my keyboard. It'll confirm something. First arrest. And I was even quoting it wrong, saying the first arrest would shock the world. First indictment unseal will trigger mass population awakening. The first arrest will verify action and confirm future direction. They will fight, but you are ready. This is marker 9. Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton have just ignored a subpoena. So I'm kind of wondering what's going to happen. Will it be Hillary? We don't know. Drew Pavlou said breaking, the Australian government launched an investigation into his ex-account, is an Aussie, due to his posts about the Bondi terrorist attack. Thank you to the FSU of Australia for this FOI request. The Australian New Safety Commissioner is out of control. Yeah, the FSU has sent an FOIA to the e-safety, content service type, presentation type, social media service, SMS, social media, complaint reason, extreme, offensive or adult content. It's news. Weren't the media showing it on the news, on TV? Type OSA section 38. Priority low. Technical element no. Investigator 22. Investigation status not actionable. Oh, it's not even actionable. What are they doing? Document set redacted. It was Drew Pavlou for the live terror attack at Bondi Beach, Sydney. That's crazy. Yeah, she's out of control. Can you guys take her back? We don't want her. Shit. She's terrible. She's an American lady. Hey, Mrs. Out to Lunch. Oh, Miss Out to Lunch. Mrs. Out to Lunch. How you doing? I'll call you Mrs. Out to Lunch. Jamie said epic. Minneapolis Police Department says 24 officers quit today and 19 of them joined ICE. Their words before they left were, "You're on your own. Our officers are sick of upholding democratic corrupt policies." There you go. So 24 officers quit the Minneapolis Police Department and 19 of them joined ICE. Nice one. Juanita Broderick said National Guard arriving in Minneapolis. It's around find out time. Let's freaking go. Here they go. There they go. Wow. Okay. Something's dinging. What's dinging? Shush. Okay. Defiant L said ladies killed on the subway. Nobody does nothing. Charlie Kirk was shot. No cities were torn up, burned down or nothing. Lady decides to drive a car at an officer of the law and you're all tearing up the whole freaking city. Let's have a listen.
I'm just saying, ladies killed on the subway. Nobody does nothing. Charlie Kirk was shot. No cities were torn up, burned down, or nothing. Lady who wasn't even fit enough to raise her own children decides to drive a car at an officer of the law, and y'all tearing up a whole fucking city. I've said you a special kind of stupid, but right now y'all just acting downright ignorant. Fuck your feelings. That's the fucking facts. Anything that's happened, this is what you picked to stand behind. I'm just saying, come on, make it fucking make sense. Y'all look real stupid right about now.
They sure do. Now for just something for restoring your faith in humanity, like we all need sometimes. Hey, Donald, how you doing? Who else have we got in here? Anyone else that I've missed? I'll catch you soon. Okay, I'll catch you soon if I've missed you. This king always looks out for their 97-year-old neighbour, a neighbour with a golden heart. Okay, let's got some music behind us, so we won't be listening to it. But we'll be watching this lovely neighbour get his elderly neighbour's bin and take it in. And he even grabs her hand and walks her in. This is the type of stuff I have to do for my mum. It doesn't matter whatever's happened in the past. I have a lot of compassion, okay? So I think my mum even walks a bit slower than that. She needs a walker. But what a lovely man. What an absolutely lovely, lovely neighbour to have. That's what you want. You want people to help each other. Your son made you feel like this? Oh, that's sweet, Deb. Just something lovely, okay, to restore your faith in humanity if you're losing it, like most of us do. It's only a small section of people that are actually doing all this garbage that they're doing. And I think a lot of people have just forgotten how to be with neighbours and things. We're supposed to be a community, but it's gotten that big and that ridiculous that we aren't communities anymore. We barely know our neighbours anymore. Joey Manarino said, I remember having to show a vaccination card to eat dinner. Spare me the bullshit about proof of citizenship being a burden. Yeah, I remember that. I remember not being able to walk into shops because I wasn't vaccinated. I remember because I couldn't wear a mask, I wasn't allowed in certain areas. Yeah, I remember being an outcast in 2020 and beyond. Yeah, so spare us the bullshit about proof of citizenship being a burden. Anyway, I think they think some communities are absolutely just that stupid they can't produce anything, you know. Anyway, Gunther Eagleman said there should be exactly 0 people with dual citizenship in any branch of our government. You can't pledge loyalty to 2 different countries, and I do agree with this. And there should be no dual citizens in any point of power. It should be the citizens of that country. That's just me, though. I thought it was just common sense, but hey. Old soldier said Albo has to go. He lost the referendum on The Voice. Now he's lost the House on what was supposed to be essential legislation. His mistake again was playing politics. He saw a chance to police speech. He should have been silencing the dissemination of religious hate and violence. His judgment is unfit for high office. His skills only lie in political manoeuvring and wedging opponents. That's not what PMs are supposed to do. They're supposed to lead the country. He isn't. He's leading a party and we aren't even on his radar. Yeah, we need to somehow, how do we get rid of our PM? The Governor-General's supposed to do that, but he hired and paid her and gave her a pay rise, and she's not going to go against him. So what do we do? Okay, Jake Lang has apparently been attacked. He just got stabbed by a crazy white commie leftist rider in Minnesota, all for pointing out their replacement by 70 IG burqa-wearing pirate Somalians. Plate carrier blocked it. Jesus is King, Deus Volt. There you go. No, I'm not laughing at he got attacked, but I'm laughing at me saying Jesus is King, Deus Volt. I don't know what Deus Volt means, but hey. Insurrection Barbie said Mamdani promises New York will be like South Africa, high employment, higher poverty, more rape per capita than any other country, and the biggest inequality between the top 0.5% and the remaining 99.5%. So the question is, do people who vote for this just not know how to read or what? I won't play the whole thing. I think we got it pretty much in that comment. Okay, American AF. Liberal teacher said she's refusing to teach in America. God, thank God for that. After her school escorted her out for making anti-ICE videos. That's fantastic news. Let's have a little listen.
Hi, my name is Isa Obradovich, and on Tuesday, January 13th, at around 11 in the morning, I was escorted out of my middle school art student teaching placement. I have a script that I'm going to be reading from because I want to be very careful with my words. On Tuesday, January 13th, at around 11 in the morning, I was escorted out of my...
Why are they always careful with their words? They have to be careful with words. Just say what you mean. Spit it out. Anyway, I don't want to listen to her. Sucko whitey. Sorry. By the way, I'm white, just in case anyone's wondering, but I'm calling her Sucko whitey. Okay, Liz Churchill said, guess who's funding the protest in Minnesota today? I do not look at the social consequences of what I do, said George Soros. Does anyone remember this? Remember his 60-minute interview? Has anyone gone and looked that up, or you remember it? Or because I remember a 60-minute interview, 60 Minutes, you know, the show, interview with George Soros, and he actually said that he helped the Nazis put Jewish people on the trains or wherever they were going. Yeah, I'll never forget that. Okay, even though he was allegedly Jewish himself, I think he's a people who say they are Jews but are not.
In the last 2 years, you've been blamed for financial collapse of Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan, and Russia.
All of the above.
All of the above.
I cannot and do not look at the social consequences of what I do.
You're a Hungarian Jew who escaped the Holocaust by posing as a Christian.
Right.
And you watched lots of people get shipped off to the death camps.
Right.
He helped. He fooled them into it. That's what he did.
I was 14 years old. And I would say that that's when my character was made.
My understanding is that
14.
you went out with this protector of yours who swore that you were his adopted godson.
Yes, yes.
Went out, in fact, and helped in the confiscation of property from the Jews.
That's right. Yes.
I mean, that sounds like an experience that would send lots of people to the psychiatric couch for many, many years. Was it difficult?
Not at all. Not at all. Maybe as a child you don't see the connection.
Are you religious?
No.
Do you believe in God?
No. I don't feel guilty because I'm engaged in an amoral activity which is not meant to have anything to do with guilt.
Far out. You should feel guilty because you're perpetrating it against the world, the people in the world. What is wrong with you? Oh, my God. Okay, and here's another feel-good one. Mick Amias said, kids of today will never understand how real this felt. Okay, watch this. This is Aussie kids when they're, you know, these are obviously adults, but they're doing the thing they used to do as kids. Ready for it?
Wait, guys, stop! Jaden, you're dead! Come on, Ian. Sam, we're surrounded! Keep fighting!
Good acting.
No! Keep fighting! All right, this is taking too long. That's over. Is that good?
Do you remember when you were young playing like cowboys and Indians? And I know now these days it's considered maybe racist, but it's what you used to do. I mean, even I played with my brother. So, yeah, It would have been a lot like less acting in it, obviously, when you're a child, but I thought that was quite good. Okay, Mario Norfolk, let's get back in the news. Breaking Jake Lang flees bloody after a mob attack in Minneapolis. Now we know he was stabbed. After getting chased and hit during an anti-Islam protest, Jake Lang had to escape by car bleeding from the head. The mob attacked his vehicle and tried to force their way in. Not a single cop showed up, not one. An anti-Islam protest or an Islamic protest? Okay. People were screaming, F you Nazi. Oh, okay. Swinging. Oh, yeah, he was. Yep. Okay. So it wasn't an anti-Islam. Or was he at a protest and then he got attacked along with other people? Anti-Islam protest organiser. Oh, no, he was just there. Okay. Anyway, he got dragged in. He got stabbed, apparently. They're calling him a Nazi. Colin Ruggs said new BBC interviewer responds after being accused of hissing before ending an interview after rapper DC3 said his biggest hero is Jesus Christ. Gita Guru Murthy, who are your heroes? DC3, Santon Dave, Kendrick Lamar, and most of all, Jesus Christ. Let's just listen to it. You'll hear her. She takes a deep inhale through her teeth.
Yeah. Wow. And where does it come from, the ideas and the impulse?
I'd say it comes from God. I'm a Seventh-day Adventist. My dad is a pastor and I've been brought up in the church a lot, so I'd say a lot of gospel music influenced my love for music.
And just quickly, who are your heroes?
My heroes are Santan Dave, Kendrick Lamar, most of all Jesus Christ.
Oh, well, it's lovely to meet you. Daniel Chenjerai, DC3, as you are better known. Thank you very much indeed for coming to talk to us, and very best of luck for the actual awards, which are coming up in a couple of months, won't they?
Now, people are saying she hissed at him like a demon. It was a sharp intake of breath through the teeth. I've done it, like that. But it did sound like a hiss. Anyway. Especially at that point in time, in context, that's quite, wow, interesting. Okay, Craig Kelly back to Australia. Albanese asserted he was bringing back Parliament early to debate the legislation, but he was lying again. Our Parliament's a farce. There's no debate on the floor of Parliament. It's a charade. The outcome of every piece of legislation is stitched up in the back rooms. Most MPs roll up like drones, and most of the time they'd be lucky to know what they're even voting on, let alone the details. However, more and more, instead of the debate occurring in Parliament, it occurs here on X. The other platforms are for frivolity and amusement. It's X that is where the politic debate occurs. And it was the political debate on X over Albanese's so-called hate speech that destroyed it. The real live debate was on X, exposing the bill's true danger, and that Albanese was lying to the public, exploiting the Bondi tragedy to entrench his own power, and to silence criticism of his migration policies. A pathetic lot of Labor toadies tried to boost the hapless Albanese with the farcical I stand with Albo, but they were overwhelmed by logic and reason. You can see why the globalist cabal is so desperate to shut X down. If the debate's on X, they lose the control of the narrative. It's as simple as that. The man's an idiot. I don't even want to hear him. The government's now going to split the gun control bill from the hate speech bill. That's what they say now. This idiot. Matthew Kamenzuli said when Albanese's Labor Party and the Marxist Greens passed a raft of oppressive laws that will make things worse next week, destroying more of our Australia, remember it was this idiot that begged them to do it. Roll her. Utter moron. Yep, they're all utter morons, the whole lot of them. And they're going to go after Pauline now. They are going to try and do what they did before. They're going to try and arrest her. They're going to try and find anything, any little tiny thing that she has ever done wrong, or any of her party. Okay, so just be aware of that. Liz Churchill said all roads lead back to this treasonous liar. And here comes Obama. Barack Obama spotted in London. Oh, London, I feel sorry for you. That's never good. BTC Club said Australia. Natural gas top 3, coal top 2, uranium top 3, iron ore number 1, copper top 3, copper is top 3, not copper top. Copper is top 3, hydrogen is top 5, nickel top 2, lithium number 1, alumina top 2, gold top 3, bauxite top 2, rare earths top 4. Yet we are a G17 country. I call this problem a government problem. Should, could, would be a top 10G country with our resume, yet we are falling almost outside G20. Please explain. That's what Pauline Hanson used to say. Please explain. Okay, the Central Poster said, hey, mob, for those who may have forgotten, this is a black fella, native Australian, okay? Proper Aboriginal, even purer blood than this person is, a Central Poster. Notice the attitude, notice the compassion and love for both white and Aboriginal life. These are the kind of Aboriginal men in my family. Not these fake, pale Miridangas who think a trickle of blood teaches them thousands of years of culture and thinks that it gives them the right to speak for the mob. Let's have a watch of this guy. A true Aboriginal, mind you. Not the fake ones.
I guess most Australians would see you as a black man who has made it successfully, certainly in the white man's world as well. Which world do you see yourself in?
It's no different for me.
Do you feel comfortable in both worlds?
Yeah.
You think that you could live in two worlds, you know, black and white? You think you can live tribally, you go back to the
just
bush,
like drinking coffee. Milk and tea sugar. I don't know. I'm a bushman, I'm a city man, I'm a bit of everything, you know. And, I fix my car on and I make my own spares and anything.
Good on you, buddy.
See, most Australians.
Yeah, so that's a real Aboriginal, okay? Chris Mate said, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Australia, that'll be 5 years in prison for you. Yeah. I've been saying this for years. Sticks and stones, guys. Sticks and stones. Preston said, Happy Australia Month. The woke agenda says Australia Day is offensive and should be banned. Australia Month is our response. We outnumber them 100 to 1. Australians will no longer tolerate the far left. If you love Australia as much as I do, march for Australia with me on January 26. I'm sure there'll be Sydney, Melbourne. Yeah. Nick Huber said, I have a family member who lives 20 minutes outside downtown Minneapolis in an apartment complex. Said half of the residents are Somalians here illegally, all of them on full welfare with rent paid. Everybody knows they all vote as well. She pays $1,600 a month to live there and she has a job. They do not, at least have a taxable job and live there for free. Why are people upset about what ICE is doing right now? There are 100,000 Somalians living in twin cities illegally, all getting welfare and rent. Why are hotels in New York City filling with migrants and why is our government paying for it? Why are they allowed welfare without proof of citizenship? I'm far from a right-winger. I generally don't care about politics or pay any attention. This just doesn't make any sense, and anybody who argues for protecting this in any way is just an idiot. 99% of Americans would vote against illegal immigrants getting government assistance, especially full rent payments. But they still do. Why? This is crazy. And people are still complaining about what's happening in Minneapolis right now. This is idiotic. It is. Okay, Lozzie B said, fit in or fuck off hats sold out in Australia. What does that tell you? Aussies have had enough. Let's have a look. What's going on?
The fit-in or fuck-off hats have been absolutely hosed by record-breaking sales of how fast an individual hat is sold. We have a shitload coming in the next fortnight. So, yeah, the fit-in or fuck-off hats have been absolutely hosed.
I had to play that bit again. I love the delivery on that. Hosed. Okay. So, okay, someone's selling, fit in or fuck off hats in Australia, right? Well, they've all sold out. It's a shame. Where can I buy one? I have to look it up. Conspiracy Bot said Congressman Ron Johnson alleges that COVID was pre-planned by an elite group of people. Event 201, anyone? Yeah. In reference to the John Hopkins Centre tabletop exercise with the WEF and the Gates Foundation, remember? Everyone remembers Event 201, don't they? If you don't, go look it up on YouTube. Look up Event 201. It came out right before COVID did. It'll open your eyes to what COVID was. Gunther Eagleman, let's put little fire emojis. Donald Trump said even fake news CNN is praising the drop in mortgage interest rates. Ooh, way to go. Your oil should drop too after Trump got some oil. Derek Evans said breaking Stephen Miller slams Europe. They take US protection but refuse Greenland. American tax dollars are keeping Europe safe and free from every adversary in the world. You'd think they wanted to support America on this matter. Let's have a listen.
There were positive early talks. We don't want to get ahead of the process, but President Trump has been clear in saying that he wants the United States to control Greenland. That is the American position. And you would think that our allies in NATO, again, who we keep safe with our missile shield, our nuclear shield, with our special forces, our troops, our soldiers, our intelligence, our submarines. Again, American tax dollars are keeping Europe safe and free from every adversary in the world. You would think that they would want to support America in this matter. And I hope they do, Sean. And President Trump is finally standing up for America in the world. You see it in the Western Hemisphere. You see it all around the planet. It's America first, Sean.
Can you imagine if America just said, no, you're on your own now to Europe? Wonder how that would go. It wouldn't go very well. Mike Shelby said everyone should understand that Fortress North America is the overarching strategy. Greenland is North America, as are Canada and Mexico. Much more will be done to secure the North American continent and harden the Western Hemisphere. Canada and Mexico will be brought to heel. That's going to include things that you may not like or be comfortable with, like sacrificing European and other foreign economies and sovereignty for the security of the United States. I don't think that'll happen. They and everyone else have to understand that we can exist without them. Well, it might happen to show them. I don't know. But they will not exist without us. You don't have to like it, but you must recognise that this is the emerging world order we're all forced to live under. Global egalitarianism sounds nice, but it's a lie that defies most of human history. We're reverting to the historical mean. Okay? You work out what that means? You can let me know. I'm kidding. Vision for the Blind said ABC Australia cutting to us. Does anyone remember this one? When ABC Australia News cut to a satanic ritual. Are you ready? Do you remember? This was back in 2020. Okay, here.
Recent outages have shown how just one...
What?
Yep, what?
How? Like, hold on. How do you make a mistake like that?
Yeah, I'd like to know too.
How does it just cut there perfectly at that exact... Let me know in the comments below. Somebody tell me. I'm very confused.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry, mate. So am I. How do you make a mistake like that? Cut into a satanic ritual during a news segment. C3 said, why do we need the SAVE Act passed? Republican-leaning states, 90% counted in 12 to 24 hours, fully certified in 7 to 10 days. Democrat-leaning states, 90% counted in 3 to 7 days and fully certified in 20 to 30 days. The fraud is staggering. That's why you need the SAVE Act passed. Okay? Dr. Malouf said the new Japanese Prime Minister has said she'll deport all culturally incompatible foreigners from Japan, such as these Islamists who demand Sharia law. Do you agree? I didn't know they had Islamists in Japan. Okay, well, there you go. AKA said this gay privilege stuff doesn't work in Russia. Let's have a look at this one. But yeah, well, that's one way to deal with it. FAFO, mate. FAFO. That's all I can say. Jack the Rooster said, I endorse Mr. Bean for UK Prime Minister. Oh, I remember yesterday we were talking about Mr. Bean. Katie said, free speech is not a privilege, it's a fundamental right. Do you want to hear Mr. Bean's point of view on this?
Second most precious thing in life is the right to express yourself freely. That is because I have enjoyed free expression in this country all my professional life and fully expect to continue to do so. So my concerns are less for myself and more for those more vulnerable because of their lower profile. Like the man arrested in Oxford for calling a police horse gay. Or the cafe owner arrested for displaying passages from the Bible on a TV screen. For me, the best way to increase society's resistance to insulting or offensive speech is to allow a lot more of it. Our priority should be to deal with the message, not the messenger. Second most precious thing in life is the right.
Yeah, I'd prefer Mr. Bean as a Prime Minister, to be honest, than what we've got. Oh, he'd make a much better Prime Minister. The Road Knight said, God. The Northern Territory government last year awarded Darwin midwife Claire Marks a $1.1 million contract to establish a private midwifery service despite her being under investigation by the National Nursing and Midwifery Regulator. What are the new Northern Territory government doing giving this lady $1.1 million to establish a private midwifery service when she's under investigation? I would love to know. Okay, Mario Northall said Newsom vetoed audit of $20 billion missing homeless funds. David Spade calls out California governor blocking investigation into vanished money. Who had this on their 2026 bingo card? Remember David Spade? When Tom Hanks was getting... Okay, AB 2903 passed unanimously, 72-0 and 40-0. Newsom killed it. Wonder what he's hiding there. Okay, let's have a listen, because I did not expect this.
The same broader problem with people paying taxes in California when they're building a $100 billion train to Sacramento, San Francisco area, that I don't know if everyone's clamoring for it when you could take $10 billion and probably fix a lot of problems in California. But they keep pushing this 10-year thing about the train. That's just one of the crazy things. The homeless, they lose $20 billion, but they want more money for it. Well, that's why people get tired of paying taxes and going, well, what are you doing? Gavin Newsom just vetoed a bill asking for an audit of where the money for homeless goes. He said, not a chance. You're not going to see that. That's
well, I don't think
odd
anyone
move.
could disagree with this. There are states, I don't have them offhand, who basically you go to their website and they tell you where all the money's going.
Yeah.
Line by line. Maybe it's thousands of pages a year, but you can see where it's going. So when he's behind the curtain, don't pay attention to Gavin Newsom, it's a little
It's
bit
just frustrating because you go,
Yeah.
you can't ask for more. I mean, if someone's if you're in a household and someone's blowing all the money, you go, what are you spending it on? Don't worry about it. Just give us more money. You go, well, I'd like to see something. And if it's fixing homeless, great. But don't just take it and then be like, homeless has gotten worse. You go,
It's like,
but you just,
excuse me, Gavin
Excuse me.
Newsom, excuse me, could we ask?
Anyway, Benny Johnson apparently says he's going in to investigate it. I still don't trust him, but anyway. C3 said the Democrats, there's no voter fraud. Also the Democrats, we are suing you so you cannot see our voter data. There you go. Pauline Hanson said the ANU recently secured $1.5 million in federal funding to study the future of Australia Day title, Change the Date Australia Day, Reconciliation and the Politics of Division. Right now we've got families living in tents and hardworking Aussies skipping meals, yet the government thinks it's okay to hand over $1.5 million to a university to study changing the day of Australia Day. You can get yourself forked, mate. While your rent is skyrocketing and your power bills are through the roof, your tax dollars are being used to fund more division. Labor should be obsessed with fixing the housing mess and bringing energy prices down, not paying academics to figure out how to dismantle Australia Day. It's time the government stopped obsessing over identity politics and started worrying about the people struggling to keep the lights on and feed their family and unblock their freaking drains. Let me just add that bit in. Okay, Derek Evans said, watch protesters force the Minneapolis Fire Department to respond to an outside fire at the Whipple Federal Building amid chaos around anti-ICE demonstrations. Okay, wow. John O'Looney said from December 2025, in case you missed it. What was this?
Good morning, guys. It's Saturday, the 13th of December. And I've been watching with interest and great concern the big push, the NHS, National Armed Service, hysteria around getting your kids flu sprayed up the nose. And I wanted to recount a story from the beginning of this bullshit when my son first started secondary school, or he was about to. And it's Hazley School in Milton Keynes, okay? So I preemptively emailed the school before the September start and said to them, you know, I'm a funeral director. I'm seeing a worrying trend where I'm putting vaccine recipients into coffins, so on and so forth. A long email and to preemptively tell them I don't give you consent to vaccinate my child. I know you've got a schedule. I know you've got a vaccine nurse. Don't touch him. And didn't get a reply to the email. Surprise, surprise. But 3-4 days later, I took a phone call from Hazley School, and this girl identified herself as Sarah, the immunisation nurse. It's just about your email, Mr. O'Looney. And she went on to have a chat with me, and I basically told her what I've told you guys, what I was seeing, and I thought she would think, oh, he's a fucking anti-vaxxer nutter, because they're all programmed and brainwashed and paid to poison, aren't they? She openly fucking admitted it. She openly admitted that she knew the risks and she knew the damage that it could do children. So I kind of sat back a second, and because it put me off on the back foot, you know. I didn't expect a full admission. So I kind of said to her, I say, okay, Sarah, I said, have you got children? She went, oh, yes, I've got 2. And I think at the time she said they were 10 and 8. And I said, would you vaccinate them then, Sarah? She went, oh, no, oh, no. I said, so you know the risk to children. You've got 2 kids of your own that you won't vaccinate, but you'll vaccinate mine. Well, I have to, she said. It's my job. I have to. These people are fucking insane. So for anyone thinking of getting their kids vaccinated, let me tell you, even the fucking immunisation nurse won't do their own fucking kids. That's Hazley School in Milton Keynes. The immunisation nurse is Sarah.
Wow. That's crazy. Okay, Sean Hannity has said Governor DeSantis sends a warning after anti-ICE agitator was accused of punching a Florida trooper, saying anyone who attacks law enforcement will face serious consequences, and so they should. This is not Portland where you can do this, get slapped on the wrist and then get put right back on the street to do it again. If you do that, you're going to be on the working end of a jail cell. We're going to hold you accountable, particularly when you talk about our state troopers who are working with DHS to enforce federal immigration law. If you're trying to interrupt our law enforcement just doing their job, which keeps us safe, we're going to hold you accountable. And buckle up. You picked the wrong state to mess around with. Good. Michelle Tafoya said, did Wolf Blitzer actually say on national television that the late Renee Good was simply driving by ICE after dropping her 6-year-old off at school? Seriously? That's journalistic negligence. That's malpractice. It's outrageous. It's false. Malpractice. Can we get them charged too? The media are a big part of the blame for all this, because if they told the truth, no one would be believing bullshit. We'd know what was going on, but they don't tell the truth. So a lot of people think they're getting the news. They're being told garbage. Rep Nancy Mace said this is Donald Gresh, a child predator who had more than 2,000 photos and videos of toddlers being raped by grown men, animals as well. Jesus Christ. Truly horrific child sex abuse material. He served one single day in jail before being released. This man lives here in South Carolina with you and your families because of an absolutely beyond broken system where pedos aren't prosecuted. That is so strange. It happens here in Australia too, and I think the UK. The pedos seem to get like days or months. That's it for their crime. It should be life, because that destroys a child for life. Anyway, I am disgusted. David Wolfe said without the unvaccinated, the world would already be eating bugs, lining up for their 11th booster and hiding in their basements like obedient lab rats. It's our resistance, our refusal, and our voice that shook the system and woke up the masses. We stood against the largest psychological operation in human history, designed to break our minds, crush our freedoms, and turn society into a digital prison. And we're not done. We will keep resisting digital ID, CBDCs, mass surveillance, and every tyrannical government movement that dares to rise. You are welcome to join us or stay a slave in the cage they built for you. We are the last line of defence against tyranny, the resistance, the enemy they couldn't break, the glitch in the matrix, the anomaly they never saw coming, and the spark that set humanity free. I'm not going to say another word. Chicago One Ray said, anyone else noticing that blacks ain't participating in these anti-ICE protests in Minnesota and across the country? Blacks ain't against what ICE is doing. They're not in favour of illegal immigration. Don't take my word on it. Here's the conservative immigrant. He'll tell you.
Of life and injury is not done.
No, that is actually on you. And what happened to that young lady is also on you and all of your Democrat colleagues. Because if you guys were not out here lying to people, gaslighting and manipulating your supporters and your voters that ICE is the Gestapo, ICE is Nazi and they're out there invading your neighborhoods, that ICE is racist and they're terrorists, all of these nonsense, all of this nonsense was said by Democrat, which caused their voters to mobilize and turn them into activists and protest at every single turn that ICE agents were at. You literally started your speech by telling ICE to get the F out of your neighborhoods. That's the rhetoric. That's exactly what caused for this woman to go out there and believe that ICE should not be in her neighborhood. But here's the thing. The reason that ICE is in the neighborhoods are also your fault, because they're in these sanctuary cities because you guys failed to cooperate with federal agents. So now ICE has to go out there and do these raids that you won't allow them to do. And if Democrats and the mainstream media wasn't out there demonizing ICE agents at every single opportunity that they got, then people would not have any reason to go out there and protest and get in the way and actually commit a crime. They're actually committing a crime. You're obstructing justice at that point. And so they're out there committing crimes on behalf of Democrats, because it's Democrats telling these people that ICE agents are Nazi and the Gestapo and secret police to Donald Trump. Yeah, it's the fault of the whole Democratic Party, 100%. This woman dying is the fault of Democrats, 100%.
Yep. Sure is. And the media. And they're going to be held accountable too, believe me. They will be held accountable. Lozzie B in Australia said, we are now the UK. Yesterday, Palestinian protesters were allowed to chant from the river to the sea in Intifada. But the only people arrested were a man preaching Christianity and a bloke holding a sign that said blame Hamas. Rob Smith said the police seem to be acting on Albanese's hate speech bill. Yesterday, crowds of anti-Semitic Palestinian protesters were allowed to chant vile slogans like from the river to the sea and Antifada and other such rubbish. A man preaching Christianity was arrested while a bloke holding a sign saying blame Hamas was arrested as the cops allowed a group of anti-Semites to chant a horrific slogan. The same F-wits are planning massive protests on Australia Day. I hate what Albanese has done to Australia. So do I, mate. So do I. Antonio tweet said, I've said it before, no way China has over 1 billion people. Let's have a listen. I found this very, very interesting. Listen to this.
You are ready for the number?
Yes.
At one point, I projected under 400 million.
What?
500 million. Under 500 million.
Under 500 million.
Mm-hmm.
So you think that they have a very similar population to the United States and China?
Yes. There's 1 billion people missing.
And this goes back to what we were saying in the beginning or earlier in the podcast with all of the fake IDs and all of this stuff being found out.
Yeah, there's possibly 1 billion people missing. It's not a demographic question, Danny. It's a mathematical question. Let me ask you. It takes a couple to have 2 children to replace themselves, right? Think about it.
Yes, 2 children.
If every couple produces 2 children,
the population stinks level.
right? So, do you know how many children does every woman needs to have in her lifetime in order to triple its population in 50 years?
To triple its population in 50 years, you need to have what? Let me guess. I'm terrible at math.
I'll give you the answer because
Okay.
I asked AI. It's a crazy mathematical. If a country needs to triple or grow its population by 2.5 times, let's just say 2.5 times.
Okay.
Over a span of 50 years.
5 kids.
Each woman, you're right. Each woman needs to give birth on average between 4.5 to 5.5 children.
One child policy, remember, in
Okay.
China.
Now, China grew its population officially from 1950. That's when the CCP took over to control. Okay, China's population in 1950 was about 500 million. In the year 2000, 50 years later, China's population was about 1.27 billion. Okay, so it grew 2.5 times, right? From 500 million to 1.27 billion. That's 2.5 times over 50 years. Chinese women did not have, on average, have 5 children because of the one-child policy.
There you go.
Yes.
Because of the Great Famine. Because of the Great Famine, tens of million people died. Because of Cultural Revolution. So China, from one political movement to another, and then to almost 4 decades of single-child policy, there's no way Chinese women had 5 kids.
Nope. I think a lot of them are bots. Yeah, so there you go. No, they've made them up. And it's right, because with the one-child policy for the last 40 years, how have they tripled their population? Mm-hmm. You're right, Shannon, yeah. Overpopulation is a lie, exactly. Clown World has put this here. Okay, let's have a look. What the hell are we looking at here? Oh, dear. The hair straight away makes me think, I don't know, lefty.
You know, I was feeling a little down on myself today, but then I just realized that, when I wake up, I don't have to worship Donald Trump like an actual god. I get to wake up and be better than over half of America. I mean...
Excuse me? What was that?
Better IQ, I'm better looking. Probably make better money because all you guys are on government assistance since most of the red states are low-income states, so...
That doesn't mean government assistance. What the fuck? This person's delusional.
Yeah, this could be worse. I was feeling a little down on myself.
They think they have a high IQ. What's with the hair, mate? That shows your IQ straight away. Green, blue, purple, pink hair. Mm-hmm. Holy cow. The rubber duck said US Delta Force airmailed the remains of Nicolas Maduro's 32 Cuban bodyguards back to Cuba in shiny cigar boxes, allegedly. Huh. Wow. What's with the marching like that? Anyway, I don't know. Wow. Elon Musk said passing voter ID has to be done to save America. If not done, the radical left will immediately end the filibuster when they regain power and pass no voter ID nationally, like they already tried to do. If not for Manchin and Sinema, they would have succeeded. Gunther Eagleman shared this. Hey, Leader John Toon. Terminate the filibuster and do your job. Donald J. Trump said, terminate the filibuster, not just for the shutdown, but for everything else. We'll get all of our common sense policies approved. Voter ID anyone and make America great again. Remember, the Democrats will do it immediately as soon as they get the chance. Our doing it will not give them the chance. Republicans will be tough and smart. The Dems are crazed lunatics. They will not open up our country, no matter how many people are irreparably harmed. There you go. Danny said, this has never happened before. I've been analysing this for the last 24 hours and it's very bad. World silver production, 800 million ounces. Boffa and City Shorts, 4.4 million. It'll make sense in a minute, okay? I've spent 2 decades in macro and then I thought I'd seen it all. I was wrong. If silver keeps going up, the biggest banks in America will collapse. Here's what I uncovered. Yesterday, silver hit 92, then it dropped for over 6% in a few minutes, pumped back up to around 91. Now it's crashing again. I've spent 20 years in these markets. Most people see a normal correction, but I see a trap. At $90 an Oz, their combined short position is now a $390 billion liability. That's larger than the market cap of most global banks. This is literally survival. The banks are doing everything they can to stay afloat. Why the dip to $86 overnight? They had to do it. If silver had broken $100 yesterday, margin calls would have liquidated those banks. They unloaded paper contracts during thin overnight liquidity to force the price down. But look closer at the physical market. While the paper price dropped $6, lease rates just went vertical. The cost to borrow physical silver is skyrocketing. We are in backwardation. Spot price is greater than futures price. It means people don't want paper promised in 6 months. They want the metal now. The math is terminal. We know the shorts are 4.4 billion ounces. We know the annual mining is 800 million ounces. But at $90 plus, the recycling supply dries up because people hoard. And industrial demand, AI chips, solar EVs, is inelastic. They must buy at any price to keep factories running. Buffett and Citi aren't just short the metal, they're short the industrial revolution. The force majeure is next. I warned you 2 weeks ago about cash settlement. It's already starting in the wholesale markets. Dealers are quoting unavailable for 6-week delays for volume delivery. When the price snaps back above $92, and it won't stop at $100. It will gap to 150 overnight when the first major short declares force majeure. The two markets are detaching. Screen price $88, a fiction maintained by algorithms. Street price unobtainable. They're shaking the tree one last time to get your physical, but do not sell. We are witnessing the death of the paper derivative market in real time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the commodities supercycle. How do I know all of this? I've studied macro for 10 years and I called almost every major market top, including the October BTC ATH. Follow and turn on notifications. I'll post the warning before this hits the headlines. Interesting. I do believe there's another economy ready to be up and running anyway, even if it does happen. But we may have a few days of people panicking and because a scare event, it's necessary to wake people up. Okay, Defiant L said, you got to watch this. This is not an SNL skit. This is DEI in action. Are you ready for this? This is crazy. Let's have a look.
Arguing it. Towson University's debate team wins, claiming an historic win They are the first all-black women's team to win the Cross-Examination Debate Association's National Championship. This morning, we have two of the team members here. We have Amina Ruffin and Corey Johnson, both here to talk about the major victory. Ladies, way to go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You've made so many people proud in this area. Now we want to pick your brain a little bit as we admire your huge trophy, by the way. That's ridiculous. But I'm going to ask you first. We'll start with you, Amina. What was the topic, first of all?
The topic was restricting presidential war powers authority.
They say the nigga's always already queer. That's exactly the point. It means that the impact is not, that is an impact turn to the that it is a case turn to the affirmative, because we are saying that queer bodies are not able to survive. That it necessarily means that the body of the nigga is not able to survive.
We got the topic in about July, and we started doing our research then.
And when the nigga sees these pains and suffering, that he can only envision himself, that he does not see another nigga that he can feel sympathy for or embrace.
What's the what's that thing?
But rather that otherness gets obliterated.
And we've been supplementing our research throughout the season.
Man, photogenic object, disfigured, lynch, and trauma enough. The insight, the trauma of representation is back central to the black child, devouring and identifying with the stories and images the white culture brought up to think and act subjectively like a white man, the black man.
So where do you go from there? You know, when you start preparing for a national competition, once you know the topic, what's next?
Well, you do a lot of research.
The way arguing it, Towson University's debate team wins, claiming an historic win. They are the first all-black.
I don't even know what to say. I have no words. Like, what was that? What was that? And what were the R's doing in the middle of it? Like, what the fuck? Was it like a speed talking test to see how fast you can speak? And then they had to take a breath, and that's why they were going, I don't know. It didn't make much sense, but, like, I was too busy listening to the R's. What on earth was I watching? Okay, Eric Doherty said, holy crap, Indian rep Shri Thandir just got pummeled on national TV in front of millions. He can barely speak English. Hannity, did you stand up for little girls raped and murdered by illegals at Trump's address? Shri, I did not stand. Hannity, you sat on your ass, a 12-year-old raped and murdered. You couldn't stand for them because you were playing politics, is that right? Shri, I would not stand for this president. Hannity, for the families who lost little girls to illegal immigrants, all right, let them, they can do it.
And honored little Jocelyn Nungary's family, brutally raped and murdered a 12-year-old girl. Did you stand? Did you give honor to that family that lost so much?
Look, Sean, thanks for having me.
I don't need the thanks. Did you stand or not? Did you stand to honor those families?
I did not stand because the president.
You sat on your ass.
I was just sick of the president.
So I want to be clear.
I did not.
You sat on your ass, and you wouldn't stand for families that lost children. A 12-year-old girl raped and murdered, and you couldn't stand for them because you were playing politics. Is that right? I want this audience to know.
Look, I would not stand for this president. I would not stand for this president. He was lying.
You weren't standing for them. You were standing for the families that lost little girls that were murdered by the illegal immigrants that you want to remain in the country. Is that true or false?
Look, this president was using a tragedy.
I'm not talking.
Has anyone seriously voted this guy in? Like, what the fuck? I wasn't laughing at the young girls either being raped, and murdered, obviously. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. I just cannot believe what I'm seeing.
Think about it.
Riley's death.
What about those families? Have you ever picked up a phone? Because there are thousands of Americans that have been murdered and raped and victims of violent crime. Have you ever spoken to any? Have you ever called them to offer your condolences? Name one family. Name one family.
Look, every immigrant, everyone must follow American laws.
Have you ever picked up a phone and called a victim's family?
Look, I talk to my constituents
Not a hard
all the
question.
time.
Not hard.
Yeah, I do.
Have you ever picked up your phone and called them? Have you done that one time?
Look, I talk with my constituents all the time. My constituents are being terrorized by ICE. ICE
Have
is on,
you ever
streets
called an American family that has been a victim, murdered, raped, tortured by an illegal immigrant? Yes or no, Congressman? Did you ever call them?
I have met people. I am sure I have met people.
I'll take that as a no. All right.
Holy crap. I can't believe anyone voted for this very weird-looking Indian guy, too. I'm not even sure that's not someone in a mask. But anyway, I don't know. It's a very strange Indian-looking guy, looking Indian guy. Sorry. That is, yeah, I don't know. Something wrong about him. Really wrong. Joel Jamal said, Julie and Lisa, are you serious? You've got this anti-Semitism bill on the ropes and you pull this stunt and try and whip votes for Labor's bill from the Liberal members of Parliament now? Julie and Lisa, the so-called Liberal MP, which is the opposition to what's in now, is worried that if the coalition's going to lose the high moral ground if they don't help Labor rush in these terrible speech laws. So they're all in it together. It's the Greens, Liberal and Labor, okay? The lot of them. There's only one place to put your vote. If you vote. Cynical Publius, one of the many ludicrous ideas that must be believed in order to be a leftist, none is stupider than the idea, let's say dumber, than the idea that a man who built a real estate empire, a gaming empire, a national entertainment empire, and ultimately sought and achieved the presidency twice, despite the vocal and rabid opposition of the national media and the political establishment, is somehow unintelligent. Disagree with Trump all you want, but the ridiculous idea that he is somehow lacking in intellect only serves to highlight the depraved low IQ reason of anyone who would spout such lunacy, Stephen King included. Stephen King thinks Trump equals dumb as a stump. Thank you for your attention to this matter, he says. Yeah, up yours, Stephen King. You've ruined a lot of movies for me, mate. By your politics. Wow. Retard Finder said amazing news. Looks like the retarded hate speech and anti-Semitism laws in Australia are not going to get the votes needed. Oh, they're going to still try. Apparently they're meeting with Liberal now and the Greens in the back doors. In the back doors. Well, that was a bit of a slip of the tongue there, but, you know, I'm sure that's what they'll be doing. I am sure. Just think about that one for a minute. I'm sure they'll be... Yeah, I'm not going to say any more. It just will get disgusting. So, yeah. Retard Finder said amazing news. Looks like the retard... They're all retarded, mate. Let's pray it doesn't get edited at this stage. It's dead. No, I think they're still calling it... I don't know. Labor still thinks it's going. Mick Amias said you couldn't ask for police to handle this any better than what they did. Instead of liquidating the offender, another officer drove into the offender to essentially immobilise him and make him drop the knife. Okay, man's got a knife, right? This looks like Australian police, maybe Europe.
Drop the fucking knife now!
No, it's Australian.
Drop it! Put it down! Put it down! Just fucking kill me. Put the fucking knife down! Drop the knife! Drop the fucking thing down! Can't you get it? Drop the knife! Drop the knife! Drop the fucking knife down!
There you go. That's our Aussie police. I'm sorry, I don't want them to just do that to anyone, but like if an offender is holding a knife and going at the police and they don't literally want to shoot him because it will kill him, maybe that's not a bad idea. Just knock him over with a car. A bit harshly, but anyway. Clown World said, I like this security guard. You can't be so soft when it comes to these people, I'm telling you. That's how we got here. Toxic empathy. Okay? Now, let's watch this one.
Talking, get off my plaza. Get off my plaza. No, I'm walking you guys off my plaza. You guys are all trespass now. Then walk. Stop talking and walk. Walk. Get off my plaza. Get off my plaza. You're gonna get sprayed. You're gonna get sprayed. You're gonna get sprayed. Back up.
Whoops. Mate, you should have just backed
Keep on
up
walking.
and
You're gonna get sprayed again.
did
You
what you were
understand me?
told.
You're gonna get tased and sprayed if you don't get off my fucking talking. Get off my plaza. Get off my plaza. No, I'm walking you guys off.
If a security guard tells you you're trespassing and move, just go away. Go somewhere else, okay? It's that easy. Okay, Oz Integrity 16 hours ago said breaking the Australian Greens are willing to make a deal with Albanese's Labor regime on the hate speech, extremist and gun laws. Imagine a law so egregious that it relies on an activist extremist party to pass. Australia's being destroyed. There you go. And I listened to this, even though I did not want to. I had to. Yes, and he's still planning on meeting the Greens next week to discuss them voting for it, okay? Cat Turd said anyone who claims to be the New World Order is the enemy of freedom, liberty and the USA, right? I agree. Retard Finder said America, we need a favour. This is the E-Safety Commissioner of Australia. She's a dual Australian-US citizen. Please take her back. She's ruining our country. We'll give you whatever you want in return. Please, just take her back. See this woman? Can we send her back? Can we get a... No, we don't want a refund. We'll pay you. We'll pay you. It'd be cheaper if we just pay you to take it back. Okay? It really would be. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for today and we're going to go on to some reading some comments while this thing plays in the background from the beginning. Okay. Yeah, Alex, we used to use our imaginations back then when we were kids. Yes, we did. Yes. It was a good times, good times. Kai said Bionic Man. Oh, that was the people doing the guys doing the kids play acting. Deb said, what about my gollywog that is racist? Yeah. I used to have one too. I used to have a little stuffed toy that was a gollywog. I loved that thing. Anyway, I don't know. Why is it racist? I don't know. They could make white ones and just not have it racist. I don't know. Not white ones and black ones, if that's why, just because it's black. I don't know. Lucette said when I was about 7 or 8, the boys used to walk around the playground with linked arms saying, who wants a game of wars? Yeah, exactly. They'd play Star Wars too. The Empire Strikes Back and all that shit. D. said, yep, cowboys and Indians and cops and robbers. Yes, that was the other one, cops and robbers, yep. Shannon said, Steve Austin, yeah, he was the Bionic Man. The $6 million man. Was it 6 or 8? 6, I think. Shannon said, not sure how much he would cost now with all this inflation, yeah. Alex said, we have hours of fun that way. Now it's all mindless screen time. So many people don't have attention span anymore. And they don't grow their imaginations, which also helps later on in life to be able to, think of things and work out problems sometimes. You do have to have an imagination. Like at the moment we have another block drain. We have spent $30,000 so far on plumbing. We should have just fucking redone the house with that money. What the fuck? Really? Anyway, yeah, you have to use your ingenuity. So you have to have an imagination. Like me this morning, I got a broom, right? Because we have a carport. We have 3 levels of garden. It's really hard to explain. We have 3 levels of garden. And the top one has a lip of bricks. So any water trapped in there is going to start puddling, right? So I had to get a broom and sweep all the water to one side where it would drain off. Now, I was doing that for like 15, 20 minutes, trying to, because we got a blocked drain. I did clear the drain of debris and leaves and stuff like that, but it is blocked inside. So my daughter went out to get a part from Bunnings that is about 4.5 metres long. That's like a electric eel, but not electric, a manual one, to get into the drain and try and clear it. So we're going to try and do it ourselves. But yeah, you need an imagination as a kid, right? To be able to then do this later in life to work out your own shit, Like, there's only so much I can do. I'm sick and I'm really weak, so I can't do it. Some of the men in this house are injured. My dad is too old. The others are too injured. I'm sick, My daughter's the only one and she doesn't know what she's doing. She does, but you got to let her know sometimes. She doesn't know everything, obviously. No one does, but like with my experience, Dad's experience more so, yeah. Oh, my God, now I'm confused. I don't know where I am right now. But anyway, hey, that's why my rent has gone up now. I was paying $150, now I'm paying $200 a week. Before long, it'll go up to $250. Don't you worry about that. Because what the rent does is it goes towards getting any repairs that need done to the house done. Well, we've just eaten up the whole lot that was saved. So there you go. Okay. Kai said, moved around a lot, so usually no friends, had to play with myself. Oh, God love you. Yeah, well, sometimes that's where most of your imagination comes from, Kai. Yeah, especially if you have to play by yourself. Deb said, that's why war games on Xbox are so popular. I can watch my son when he games because he's so fast. Oh, wow. You can't watch it because he's so fast. Wow. Flyby Stu said you had to use your imagination. Have you seen the state of an Atari? What was that? Kai said, by myself. Yeah, not with yourself, by yourself, yes. Words matter. It changes the context of it all. Lucette said, and if you wanted a game of wars, you'd link arms with them, and when they had enough people, they'd start playing wars. I ganged up with them once to play wars despite being a girl, lol. Yeah, I used to play too when I was a kid, Lucette. And how you going, Lucette? Yes, I used to play too as a kid. Shannon said, yeah, nah. Deb said they have your number, Shannon. Why, what's going on now? Is Shannon's comments being held back again by YouTube? I can't even see them. Why are they not showing me all of this? Even when people time out comments, I should be able to see that and correct it or whatever, and I can't. It's like they've taken, that's not my channel anymore. What the YouTube? Hey, Lightworker, Dairy Lightworker, they've seen they are outlawing the Christian faith and yeah. Yep, you get arrested for it. Alex said, you can tell where the evil resides. They can't hide anymore. She sounded like a snake. That's almost like a Freudian slip, lol. Yeah, it is. That's context too, because in the context she did it, sounded like she was having an adverse reaction to Jesus Christ. Going, I only do that if someone hurts bangs their knee or stubs their toe, I go, oh, ooh, that would have hurt, But not in that context. That was a bit weird. Lucette said Kai used to play with himself. Oh. Kai said inflation today he'd be stripped down. Everyone's saying hello. Shannon said, what again? What did I say this time? I don't know, Shannon, because I can't even see it. It's like YouTube have taken this whole channel out of my hands and they're the ones policing it now. It's. I'm going to have to check settings. I don't know. Kai said $6 million man today would get an Android cannon and a pogo stick with tongs. Yeah, with inflation, he probably is the The $8 million man. No, it'd be more than that, wouldn't it? It'd be like $20 million man now. That was in the 70s. No, it'd be more than that even. Whoa. Anyway, okay. Kai said $6 million man today. We get. Yep, I read that one. Shannon said what they consider to be wrong. Yeah. Alex said, do you remember British Bulldog? That was a brilliant. I remember that. I think it got banned though. Can't have us having fun now. Yeah, exactly. Shannon said, I don't like it. Deb said, I would love to say, but what is it? Something about elbow insert swear words. Okay, yep. Lucette said, sounds familiar, but I can't remember what it was. Can you remind me? Shannon said, Red Rover crossover. Flyby, hounds and hares. What about the red light, green light? Remember that? Oh, you can still play that one because it's not that. Oh, someone falls over though. They'll probably ban that too. Flyby Stu said hounds and hares. Deb said they don't get a choice. Hey J1, how you doing? Deb said whips and changes. What are you talking about, Deb? Shannon said arrest him. He sharpened a stick and a salt spear. Yep, there you go. Deb said Labor bring in voters. Yes, they do. Kai said I'd go exploring the woods when there were any. Yeah, exactly. Alex said it was like a tag game where you had to escape from the bulldog player in the middle, and if they got you, you joined and became a bulldog too until everyone's tagged. Alex said probably different variations though, Lucette. Shannon said that sharp stick needs to be registered and kept in a locked metal box. Yeah, like all weapons in Australia. Deb said, congratulations, Flyby, making the naughty corner twice. Oh, what's going on now? Is Flyby getting censored as well? Lucette said, I don't remember playing that game, Alex. Deb said, make more now. Deb said, where can I get one? Oh, those hats. Yep. I agree, Deb. Alex said, I think there was a stick in the mud game too, where if you got tagged, you had to stand still until your teammates released you. Wow. Shannon said, oh, you think? Kai said, freeze tag. Deb said, can we put in a bulk order, Hev? Oh, and the hats, yeah. Dealey said, freeze tag. I think they're out at the moment, though. Yeah, Deb, 201 was the release the virus. Yes, it was. Remember? It's like a bit like a documentary on, like the movie Outbreak or shit like that, you know? It's a bit like that. Wasn't a documentary, actually. It was just like a movie. A real shit one, too, by the way. Shannon Spears said, we called that stick in the mud, Kai. Renee said, I voted for that. Yeah, Renee, that's the way to go. Sherry said, I heard that Christians can be arrested if they speak Christian words in Australia now, if it offends Muslims or others. Yeah, they can all. I'm going to keep. I'm going to walk around saying Jesus is King. God love you. That's all I need to say. God love you to people, right? I say that to everyone. Oh, God love you. Okay, so I'll just keep saying that and eventually I'll get arrested. Alex said, yeah, that could have been another name for it, Kai. Dealey, loads of fun times. I miss those days. Oh, God, yeah. Renee said Trump has basically given the EU the middle finger because he's not going to let China have it. Exactly. And the EU and Australia and Canada would all give it to China. He needs to take over. Trump needs to, really. Lucette said, Sherry, same here in the UK. You can get arrested for praying and singing outside. That's ridiculous. It is. Just, you know, I'm still going to say God love you to everybody. Kai said, the game's moved with the children. Names changed, though. Deb said, unless you are a Muslim, Lucette, yeah. Deb said, yes, I do remember. Alex said, flyby Stu, I think Deb meant your comments keep getting held by YouTube. Only we can see them. And how come my mods can see them and I can't? I own the channel. What the fuck, YouTube? What are you doing? I already know what they're doing. They're hammering me for a start. That's one thing they are doing. They will not let me grow. They're actually taking subs or people are leaving. Look, it's okay if people want to leave on their own, but I don't like YouTube doing it. You can tell when they do. Kai said they are trying to cause a holy war with insurrection and financial collapse. Yes. Yeah, they're going to try and do it on Trump's watch and blame him, but it will not be Trump's fault. And I believe there's another economy ready to pick up and keep going when they do. Deb said they are a satanic channel. Alex said, I keep showing them, but they still don't show for Hev and everyone else. So annoying. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Lucette said Greenland should have a referendum on the USA taking over, but only Greenlanders should be allowed to vote, no Danes. Sherry said, how long are people going to put up with that? I wonder. No one's going to stop me from praying or saying Jesus, but it's getting done in Canada as well. There you go. Deb said, oh my God, Shannon, laughing. Flyby Stew said, I misspell on purpose, something to do with the algorithm. Yeah, I get you. Yep. How you going, Flyby Stew? D-Lee said, nice. How you going, D-Lee? And Shannon said, a frequency for them and one for them. It's a big club and you ain't in it. There you go. Yes, Mr. Bean. Alex said, yeah, that's it. Or underheld arms too, I think. Under the legs would be more difficult and more chance of getting caught yourself. What in the hell are we talking about there, Alex? I forget what that was about. But anyway, Shannon said, Rowan Atkinson is a legend. He is. Alex said, I saw that today that Trump has appointed Tony Blair as one of his board members or something. Yeah, he has a habit of keeping friends close and his enemies even closer. I don't know. Or maybe what we've been told is all left conspiracies. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. That's what I like to wait and see, okay? Because I don't trust any of these people. So I'm going to have to wait and see. Deb said, oh my God, we need real people other than Fairy in charge. Kai said, this is how the population reduction happens, with fingers being pointed in just one direction. Yep. Deb said depopulation, most likely. Kai said, without finger pointing. Deb said, pedo. Flyby said, Alex, it's about time he worked for his money. Keep your enemies closer. Yes. Kai said, Guidestone destruction was star signal. Lucette said, Alex, do you mean in regard to Gaza? The Muslim world would have objected because he was a real warmonger for the war in Iraq. Shannon said it's something. Kai said, starting signal. I think I'm stoned. You probably are. Shannon said, comfortably numb, Kai. Deb's laughing at Shannon. D-Lee said, I know I am. Yep. Kai said, I'd better make sure. Have another one, Kai. Make sure. Deb said, my mum still thinks the risk outweigh the benefit. Oh, no, with jabs. Alex said, yes, I think it was something like that, although I've only seen the headline briefly to be part of the Board of Peace, apparently. Lucette said, Deb, my mum gets every damn vaccine available, and then if they're not available, she'll get the bus to somewhere where they are available. Oh, no, Lucette. Oh, I feel so sorry for you, Mum. Alex said, take your children out of school if you can. These monsters are in plain sight now. They don't care about your children. They'll probably cause irreversible damage. It's not the jabs, it's the trans fat. And Kai said there's even admission of guilt with vaccines too. Deb said, my ex-husband, drummer of his band, same day he got vaccinated, dropped dead after band practice. He dropped in front of my ex. He is traumatised now, will not have any more. There you go. Lucette said, oh my God, Deb. Yeah. Kai said, damn. Deb said, since we're getting flu vaccine, my mum gets the...
Shannon donated $5. Here's some rent money I got in trouble for saying I would like to eat Alex's flapjacks.
Shannon. Oh, dear. Thank you, you legend. Oh, my God. What are you doing, Shannon? Is that why YouTube censored your posts? It probably doesn't help posting things like that, right? Because that's probably why they keep an eye on my channel and censor it. No, I'm not blaming you, but yeah, Shannon. Okay, thank you. Oh, my God. Okay. Okay, where I'm up to. Alex said, that's because it's mostly pedos doing the convicting. They're all in one nasty club. Yes, I agree. That's why they only get months, days or whatever instead of life. Dealey said, I got the flu one time right after that one free flu vaccine. Oh, yep. I don't think I've ever had a flu vaccine. But I have had, like, you know, a tetanus shot after you, like, get cut open by something, you know. Shannon said, ex-husband, did he beat you to the punch you to the beat? What, Shannon? What are you talking about? Kai said, supposedly 300 to 350 executed to Gitmo. Deb's laughing at Shannon. Alex said, so sorry to hear that, Deb. How awful. Flyby said, Deb, my mum was the same. But she brown bread now. R.I.P. Oh, God love you. Kai said, can't the guy being messed up from seeing that? Dealey said, Kyle, believe it may be if I see it, but then the world's a stage. Shannon said, my dad, since the cremation, looks ashen. I'd say they would. Kai said, Dealey, that is so true. Kai said, CGI makes it so you can't tell what's really real anymore. Deb said, paid protest. Alex said, I was looking up something earlier about the plague and would really love to speak to you about it, Timmy. Dealey said, Kai, yep. Shannon said, you can tell, but it's getting more difficult, Kai. Flyby Stu said, Deb, in fact, I'm glad she wasn't here to witness COVID. Only one brother took heed and didn't get the poke. Oh, wow. Deb said, yes, we need to have Dr. Timmy talk. Kai said, they got a guy, Star Wars Tales Untold, that does a better job than the actual actors. Shannon said, high as a kite. High as a kite. So high as Kai. Bissett said, China's one-child policy is suicide for the whole country. Yes, it is. Kai said, I am, Shannon. Kai said, got to finish the bowl. I just started. Kai said, yep, I'm stoned. Shannon said, Elon Musk said that. Alex said, yes, it would be great. There are a few things I thought of earlier that would be interesting to get his opinion on. That was one of them, Deb. Deb said, lucky man, Kai. Shannon said, overpopulation is a lie. Yes, it is. It's been known for a while. Deb said, I bet Timmy is lurking. Yeah, I can't use StreamYard either anymore. Jesus Christ. I can't use StreamYard anymore either to stream Watch With Me's. Now you've got to pay for it now to get that. No, it's actually the for like Rumble. To have it on Rumble, you now have to pay for it. StreamYard. At least that's what they were trying to do to me yesterday. I'll try and work it out today, but I don't know what's going on. I hope Timmy's lurking, Deb. Dealey said, yeah, Lucette. Kai said, yeah, lurking. Deb said, how many did COVID take out in China? Shannon said, lurky. Lucette said, Deb, or the COVID jab. Alex said, hopefully listening whilst making more pumpkin pie, Deb. Flyby Stu said, get a grip on your same head. Kai said, damn. Donald said, they're all clones. Yeah, that's what that Indian guy looks like. I don't know. Like a clone, or he's got a mask on or something's wrong with him. Deb said, my neighbour is a Trump hater. Oh, my God, I was laughing to myself listening to her. Hey, Black Hat, how you going? Sorry for being late again. That's okay. As long as you made it, that's the main thing. Alex said, that must be so annoying having to march like that all the time too. Yeah, like legs straight up in the air, you know. I understand lifting the knees high, but I don't know. Kai said, literally sent them boys home in boxes, little itty boxes, yep. Everyone's saying hello to Black Hat music. Kai said, wonder what's actually in them. Deb said, yummy, I want to make pumpkin pie. I think I love it. Alex said, never too late, Black Hat. Yeah, Black Hat said, hello, everyone. Alex said, look like Tesla robots, Donald. Definitely. Timmer said, leftists who colour their hair remind me of those poisonous frogs, easily identified as dangerous based on their bright colours. Exactly. Yep. Dealey said the same thing. Exactly, Timmer. Kai said, damn. Deb said, you are such a naughty boy, Shannon. Did he get timed out again, did he? Alex said, yeah, with loads of cinnamon. I made flapjacks yesterday. I'm going to start doing loads more baking, I think, Deb. Donald said, green hair and no brains under it. Well, I think the green might suck their brains out or something. I don't know. Deb said, oh, my God, very hungry now. I just had a boring toast today. Dealey said, Alex, I love cinnamon. You use it often. Kai said, put hot chocolate mix in your pancakes. Oh, my God, yum. Alex said, Dealey, your hello to Black Hat Music just got held for review. YouTube's getting ridiculous. What? What is wrong with YouTube? YouTube, hello? Do you understand your algorithm that's running things is having a bit of a glitch in the matrix there? Or is that on purpose? Black Hat Music said, yummy. Dealey said, good tip, Kai. Shannon said, we call them pancakes. Alex said, there you are, Timmy. Deb said, Shannon, they're getting your naughty thoughts. Whoops. Black Hat said, hi there, Dealey. Shannon said, oh, okay. I'm going to be careful with what I read right now for a minute because I don't know what you're talking about. Self-sourcing pancakes, you mean? Kai said, you'll go blind. Black Hat said, cinnamon icing should be a food group required daily. Oh, yum. Alex said, you definitely wouldn't want to lick one. Now, what are we talking about here? Alex said, Timmy. Deb said, I can't see Timmy. Timmy said, holy shit snacks, Scooby-Doo. That's a debate. Oh, yeah, that was some DEI debating there. Shannon said, spitting claims can be hazardous to your vision. Spitting, what? That wasn't what I read it to be. Okay.
Timar28 donated $50. Hello. I've been posting comments. I even refrained from swearing. LOL. I'm curious about Alex's flapjacks as well. And her questions about the plague. LOL.
Oh, you too. Oh, my God. Good on you, Timmo. Thank you. You're legends, both of you. Oh, my God. I need a tissue. Where are my tissues? Oh, no. Okay, Alex, you're going to have to explain your flapjacks. Okay. Settle down, Hev. Okay, thank you, you guys. You're legends. Okay, let's continue. I can't. Okay, my stomach's getting sore. Shh. Oh, no, don't do that. Okay. Okay, Deb said colour hair and body piercings show they're insane. Sherry said, what did she say? Can't understand anything she's saying. Flyby Stew said, sounds like a doochie. Alex said, sounds like they're hyperventilating. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that DEI debating, but that was really weird. Dealey said, Alex, I gave up chicken 25 years ago, but I used to make an awesome cinnamon and honey baked chicken that was, yum, delicious. Deb said, not any debate I've ever seen or heard. I love debating. Shannon said, in nature, if it's brightly coloured, it usually means it's toxic. Kai said, hey, very good song. Deb said, well done, Black Hat Music. Alex said, he's behind you, Deb, actually right under your comment. Alex said, I love cinnamon black hat music. Kai said, poison or fake? Deb said, when the British Parliament are also messing with kids. Yeah. Shannon said, can't keep their emotions under control. Exactly. And there you go. Alex said, your flapjack comment was held, Shannon. Lucette said, and this Shree person is smiling all the way through hearing about the little 12-year-old getting raped and murdered. Yeah, it's disgusting. Alex said, cinnamon is the best. I can't wait to start baking more, Dealey. Deb said, where are the grown-ups? Where the hell is he? Creep, yep. Donald said, weird is all I can say, yes. And Deb said, what is it with his smile? I don't know, there's something wrong with him. I don't know, he didn't look right to me either. Yeah, that was a weird man. Dealey said, Alex, I've just seen your comment about YouTube holding my comment. Hello. Dealey said, that's crazy. Oh, they're holding comments for no reason whatsoever now. Flyby said, never give a straight answer. Deb said, creeping me out. Shannon said, holy shit snacks, lol. That's Pam and Archer quote. Kai said, he's evil. Sherry said, how are these people coming into our country, getting into our government? Big mistake letting people not born here get into our politics, yeah. Lucette said, Hev, do you have a Conservative Party in Australia? Well, we did, but they've gone left as well. They are called Liberals over here. We've got Labor and Liberals, right? And the Liberals are supposed to be the Conservative Party, but they've gone far left as well. Now we've only got One Nation, who are the Conservative Party in Australia. You got you got a couple of parties, but they're too low to even make a difference. The other ones, One Nation's the best bet, I believe. Kai said, too bad how they ended Archer. Deb said, yes, my vibe was not good about him. Very bad man. Reminds me of Seinfeld. He was a very, very bad man. He's a very, very... What was his name on Seinfeld? He got deported because of Seinfeld. The Indian guy. Oh, I can't remember his name. I used to love when he shook his finger at Seinfeld and that. Okay. Deb said, oh, my God, Shannon. Deb said, seriously, Shannon. Alex said, apparently because it was just held again, Shannon. Flyby Stew, mate Hev, mate equals friend. Yes, yes. Yep, mates are friends, yes. In Australia. Deb said, Shannon's being targeted. Shannon likes eating flapjacks. Okay, that's where it all came from. Okay, I'll get you. Kai said Shannon must have gotten a comment reported or timed out somewhere. Shannon say, can I say beef jerky? Deb said, I love Aussie police. How's those show the police say bloody oxygen thieves? Deb said, yes, you can, Shannon. Alex said, they've been doing it a lot tonight, like, with different comments. And they're not even bad comments, just everyone's saying normal things. Too many bots running things, Dealey. Yeah, I'd say so. Lucette said, I like eating Jack Flaps. It's the comment. It's going to be, is this comment going to be held for review, lol? Deb said, or jerky the beef. Oh. Deb said, I say frisky me if he's good looking. Kai said, what about I lost my ball? Oh, my God. Okay. It's getting a bit rude in there because people are testing now. They're testing how far YouTube is going to let them go before they get censored. So where was I up to? Minus all the rude ones. Oh, my God, how far back was I? Okay, I'm around here somewhere. Okay, I won't be reading those ones, Shannon, right? You got to pay the man to read those ones. Alex said, yes, he had loads of them held tonight, Kai. Deb said, who else can make the naughty corner? Deb said, return to sender. Alex said, curtains made it through. They must not like the cooking. They must just not like cooking. Okay. Lucette said, if you want to know what I'm talking about, you're going to have to read the comments for yourselves, guys. Lucette said, is that a challenge, Deb, lol? The live comments I'm talking about. Flyby said, Lucette, I challenge you, lol. Lucette said, what if I said bum, cockwomble, F-wit? No, that made it through. Oh, my God. But they censor the stupidest things. Are they serious? Deb said, every time Shannon spoke today, go put in the naughty corner. Shannon said, at least I got laughs from Debs and Alex. Deb said, I love you, Shannon. Shannon said, Womble, lol. Lucette said, Shannon, lol. Alex said, that's because mods are the only people that can see them. We need to put YouTube in the naughty corner, Shannon. Yeah. Kai said, honestly wonder how bad everything will get before it's done. Tim said, $8 million man in Australian dollars. Yeah, it is actually. Shannon said, the feeling is more than mutual. Shannon said, make everyone a mod, lol. Oh, I might have to do that, you know. Yeah, but that's how things can go wrong. Like you'll get people timing each other out and all sorts of stuff. And oh, no. Alex said, wowza, have 30K. Yes. Yes, Alex, I know. I thought you should be able to do the whole house with that amount. Deb said, sweeping the shit. Shannon said, rooter? Yeah, it's one of those, yes. There's a snake, yes. Lucette said, Kai, if you're not making sense, mate, you're already stoned, aren't you? Deb said, have existential crisis again. Kai said, I was making fun of an even stupider meme. I'm still coherent. Lucette said, how you going, Hev? Love you. Oh, Deb said, it all sounds naughty to me. Yeah, me too. That's why I'm being careful. Deb said, I love seeing Shannon in the naughty corner. Kai said, gotcha, Hev. Deb said, we the Christians need to make a very big fuss or be taken over. Deb said, good one, Kai. Lucette said, that $2 billion man. Shannon said, I'm not locked in the naughty corner with you. You're locked in here with me. Yeah, Kai, $734 trillion man now. Alex said, I did look into it, Heaven. It said it could be because you could be watching as a viewer. You could try making yourself a moderator and see then. Wow, I didn't think I had to make myself a moderator. Okay, I don't know. Deb said, yes, true, Shannon. Alex said, or you may have to play with the setting in YouTube. Yes, I think I've got to look at settings in YouTube. Deb said, sticks and stones will break my bones, but whips and chains, oh, yeah, Deb, that's a song. Yes, I understand that. That was, what's her name? Can't remember. So forgettable, that's what they are. Okay. Shannon said, what happens in the naughty corner stays in the naughty corner, kind of like Vegas. Alex said, you got your joke got held, copy and paste it again and maybe change a few letters, flyby. Oh, no. Kai said, from an airplane wreck, from an unknown Temu experimental aircraft? Did you mean Temu or Tumu? Flyby says, it's not YouTube anymore, it's AdTube. They're everywhere. I'm not getting ads, am I? You're not getting ads because I'm not getting any money from ad revenue here. I am not monetized. They will not monetize me. So I hope you're not getting ads in mine. Shannon said, naughty corner is where all the cool kids hang out like the back of the bus. Carl, how you going? Deb said, not war games where they go live. Deb said, yes, detention, I was there. Flyby said, Alex, they probably saving them up for their Christmas crackers. Everyone's saying hello, Carl. Yeah, love a good Christmas cracker joke, eh, Alex? Deb said, I say God bless you if people sneeze. Yep. Kai said, Trump's helping most likely. Deb said, yes, not everything Shannon said was actually naughty. Yeah. No, they just, I don't know what they're doing. It's like they're taking over my channel. Deb said, so glad we get to see the naughty corner. Deb said, are we going to Rumble to watch party? Well, I don't know because I've got to work out if StreamYard will let me stream on Rumble. Otherwise, I've got to do it through Streamlabs, and if Timmy rings in or comes on, he can't watch or hear what's going on. So I don't know what to do. Because, Streamlabs have now said that if I want to use Rumble, I have to pay. And I'm like, get forked. Get out of here, with that. So I don't even know. Alex said, I was replying to Shannon's hell comment about the game stick in the mud. Had to run under the arms or crawl through the legs to release tag player have. Yep. Flyby said, in my opinion, they're not bots. If they can read misspellings, I think it's someone with two heads with nothing better to do. Black Hat's going, oh. Now, that was funny. Okay, I don't know what it was, but something was funny. There you go. Menacing Muskrat, how you going? Shannon said she cooked flapjacks. Okay. Lucette said, Shannon, that's a picture of pancakes, not flapjacks. Deb said, Shannon, pumpkin pie? Yeah, naughty flapjacks they are. Alex is crying. Kai said, still prefer roast beef. Deb said, no, it's just Shannon. Deb said, okay. Pumpkin flapjacks. Is that what you meant, Deb? I'm not reading that one, Kai. Shannon said, what's the difference, Lucette? Lucette said, oh, Shannon, that's the difference. Deb said, Kai is high. Kai said, yes, I am baked. Alex said, that comment just got held too. Flyby Stew, you're saying how much you miss Muskrat. Welcome. Luckily, she could see it. That's crazy. Honestly, what is YouTube doing? Deb said, I'll be in the afternoon. Deb said, oh my God, Shannon. Timmy said, what about the plague, Alex? Such a bright and cheery subject. Lucette said, Shannon, or asked to get your oats or something. Alex said, held again, Shannon. What? Deb said, yes, Timmy and Alex. Alex said, I know, right? Too long to say in chat. Maybe I can speak to you later, Timmy. Shannon said, oh my God, Alex. Kai said, sounds like Tony. Menacing Muskrat said, remember there were videos of people going through the empty streets in China? So weird. Yep. Lucette said, Flyby, they're censoring your innocent comments too. Deb said, I found the plague a very interesting subject. Dealey said, yes, Muskrat, empty streets. Deb said, it goes way back. Flyby Stew, why? Oh, my goodness. They're holding all your comments, man. Where's Flyby Stew? Hang on. Maybe go down, I might find another comment. If I keep doing it, I'm going to have to make you a mod, Flyby. Hey, Lanazi, how you going? Deb said, did someone say Meghan Markle, legs in the air? Shannon said that makes less sense than how the crown system works. Okay, Flyby Stew. Add as a mod. Standard moderator. Save. You're a mod now, Stu. They hopefully can't hide your comments anymore. It's crazy. Deb said, thank you, Dr. Timmer. That's why we know it means danger. Dealey said, the AI running YouTube is glitching. I think that's what it is, because there's an AI running YouTube. It's definitely not people. Menacing Muskrat said, waiting for a load of firewood. Oh, I know how that feels. Alex said, yes, they're holding normal comments like, good to see you. Hello, Hev. Oh, no. Lanazi, I missed you all. I never get a notification anymore. Yeah, no, YouTuber hammering me for some reason. I don't know why. What have I done? Maybe it's because they deleted me in the first place, and I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Deb said, the crown is for the most watched and commented. Shannon said, go, Timmy. Kai said, here comes Skynet. Lanazi said, lol. Shannon said, Rolf. Deb said, poor Hev. Yeah, what happened to Rolf the other day? Was it YouTube? Shannon said, Timmy is the goat. Menacing Muskrat said, lots happening in Canada. Stan Carney's on his way over to Davos, WEF, January 19th, 2026. So is Trump. Can't wait. Alex said, Timmy makes a poisonous frog comment that got held back, but I was replying saying you wouldn't want to lick one, but they all sounded well out of context. Oh, okay. Yes, Alex, it did sound a bit out of context, so I'm not sure, yeah. Wow, they're even doing Timmy. Where's Timmy now? I'm going to have to make him a mod too. Shannon said, we'll eat anything. Lanazi said, I missed that laugh. Oh, God love you. Alex said, awesome, Timmy. Yeah, if Timmy has commented again, I'm going to make him a mod too. What about you, Shannon? Should I make you a mod? Hang on. Don't put anyone out. Don't time anyone out. Okay? Don't do anything like that. And if Eyes comes on, don't time him out either. Okay? Okay. Alex said, awesome, Timmy. Kai said, anything? Menacing Muskrat said, oh my goodness, Hev's going to blow a nose again. Was that when I was laughing? Dealey's laughing. Shannon said, make Hev laugh and cry achieved. Yep, there you go. You did it. Alex said, Hev's laugh, making it more funny. Lucette said, Hev is corpsing, as they say in drama circles, lol. Was I? Oh, everyone's saying hello, Lanazi. Deb said, oh my God, thank you, Dr. Timmy. Yeah, I needed that laugh too. It was a good one. Menacing Muskrat said, butter chicken, Alex. Oh my God, you're going to make me hungry. Shannon said, Skynet has no need of flapjacks. Deb said, I cannot breathe. Yeah, I was having a bit of that trouble too, and then my stomach started hurting from laughing so much. Might be a good thing. Lanazi said, Alex, hi, missed you all. Missed you too, Lanazi. Deb said, I can't. Alex said, who knew flapjacks could be so comical? No, it was the way it was said. Oh, dear. Yeah, it was actually the way it was said, I think. Deb said, thanks, Doc Timmy. Shannon said, cover them in honey. You could eat them for ages. I'm sure you could, Shannon. Alex said, yummy, that sounds delicious. I'm cooking a chicken roast dinner tomorrow with roast potatoes and Yorkshire pudding. Menacing. Oh, yum. Deb said, oh my God, I'm so hungry right now. So am I, actually. Menacing Muskrat said, yum, Alex. Flyby said, I see like a rat up a drain pipe. Right, Flyby, hang on. No, I did make you a moderator. There you go. I just thought I had to do it again for some reason. It's Timmy I'm looking for now. Yeah, we missed you too, Lanazi. Glad you made it. Kai said, dude looks guilty. That smile of embarrassment, but he thinks he's above prosecution. Deb said, they know Shannon has a naughty mind, maybe. Well, he's a mod now. Kai said, Apu, that's it, Apu, yeah. Shannon said, afraid to say I would love to eat. Did I make you a mod? Yep, I did. Tells me in there. Yeah, the soup guy. Oh, the soup guy, that was a different one. The soup guy. No more soup for you. It was Apu. He was that The Simpsons or was that? No, I'm sure it was. He got deported because he didn't get his mail on time. And I think Seinfeld was supposed to give him his mail or something. One of them was. Shannon said, I'm afraid to say I would love to eat your chicken and potatoes. Then, oh, okay. Then the Yorkshire pudding. Yep, okay. I'll read half that one. Shannon, how's that? Lanazi said, Alex, I never get a notification anymore. It sucks. Yeah, YouTube don't. Oh, really? Yeah, they're not very good at the moment. I don't know what's going on, but they're really, like, failing. Dealey said, Alex, give the cinnamon a try on your chicken and don't hold back. Ooh, yum. Kai said, yeah, the soup guy. Deb said, my ex-husband loves the Fraser rat up a drain pipe. Deb said, no soup for you. Muskrat said, my man loves beef jerky, lol. Shannon said, Muskie. Menacing Muskrat said, making beef jerky in the smoker. Nice. Alex said, oh no, may need to check that the bell is clicked or that click off the bell and back on for all notifications. YouTube have done it with loads of channels, Lanazi. Deb said, well done, Kai. Deb said, we are so funny. Kai said, thank you. Shannon did most of it. Deb said, it's crazy. Lanazi said, Alex just checked. You were right. They turned off my bell. Dumb crackheads. Thank you. Oh, see that? They're doing something. They are trying to censor shit. Me, anyway. Other people get away with stuff I cannot get away with. I'm telling you, something's going on. Kai said, I timed out a drunk. D-Lee said, AO trying to figure out what all of us real people are talking about does not compute. Yeah, it doesn't understand. Kai said, a rude ass drunk at that. Shannon said, I have a dirty mind because I'm immune to brainwashing. Kai said, old King slurp and glurp and one. Alex said, it's normally just Shannon, but it's nearly all of you tonight. Where's D-Lee too? I had at least one hell for review, not even for anything considered bad. Deb said, yes, the power will go to my head. I know, I have to behave. Yes, you have to behave. Muskrat said, took a box of wine glasses out of my storage shed, wiped out, no more wine glasses. Jeepers, wow. Delia said, Alex, we broke AI, YouTube. Shannon said, beehive, yum. Alex said, it's so irritating. Wonder how many more they've done it to and still things. Hev channel is banned, Lanazi. And people still think my channel's banned. Yeah, maybe. Alex said, D-Lee with a bit of luck. Deb said, our potty minds have us targeted. Lanazi said, Alex, it's ridiculous. We still have to go through all of this. Tell Hev to tell people so they know. Yep. Kai said, anyone telling truth is getting a hard time. Yep. Alex said, if you make yourself a mod, it might fix it for now. Just make a small comment and you'll see yourself. When I get to the bottom, I'll try to do it. Or not if it was anything like before you started live. Deb said, bastard. Alex said, I know they may have given channel back, but messing around by blacking comments out all the time, Lanazi. Flyby Shoe said, there's no need for that, Deb. No, I've done you. Oh, am I not? How far am I from the bottom? Alex said, what did you use yesterday? It seemed to work then. Tim could watch and we could hear him. I was using StreamYard, but I was getting a warning message. And as soon as I finished that stream and I tried to, they said, you've got to re-add Rumble. And I tried to re-add Rumble and it said, oh, you've got to pay for that now. And I'm like, what the what are you doing? Timmy didn't get his spanner. Yep, okay. I've got to get down to Timmy comment. So, yeah, I was using Streamlabs yesterday, but as soon as I jumped off, they made me reload Rumble back on and they wouldn't let me reload Rumble back on unless I paid. Deb said, yes, we just watched one. Alex said it was the robot reading the comment out that made everyone laugh. Yep, it was. Kai said, ta-da. Menacing Muskrat said, congrats, Flyby. Lucette said, Flyby, where are the mods, where are the mods, where are the mods? Just quoting Quadrophenia. Lucette said, Nigel Farage is going to Davos, which is suspicious. They're all going. Even Trump's going. Just let it happen, see what happens. Flyby said, got to see the blue spanner. Timmy, there he is. Hello, I'm commenting now. Okay. Now you're a mod. Okay. Kai said, and from that one out of context comment, we ran with it. Lucette said, great to be a mod, wouldn't want to be a rocker. Muskrat said, welcome aboard, Shannon, Timmy, Flyby Stew. And let me know who else gets timed out by the algorithms. I'll just make them mods. Yeah, welcome aboard, everyone. Deb said I talk in innuendos anyway. Flyby Shoe said we definitely are the mods, Lucette. Deb said, Shannon, be a good boy. Yes, Shannon, be a good boy. Shannon now has tool in hand, the wrench. Kai said, flapjacks. D-Lee said, look. Oh, there's D-Lee. Look at all the mods. Yeah, you're going to be one too, D-Lee. Okay. Because you've been timed out too. So anyone who's getting timed out is now going to be moderated. Sorry, not moderated. They're going to be a mod. Okay? YouTube, you hear that? It's backfiring on you already. Lucette said, Shannon, don't manhandle your tool now. Be responsible. Shannon said, no spanner in the works. Lucette said, welcome to the mod world. Oh, good night, Flyby Stew. Rest well. God bless, said Flyby Stew. Alex said, take care, God bless, and see you soon, Flyby. Tim S said, not sure what being a mod means exactly. Well, you don't have to do anything, just don't accidentally touch buttons on your phone while you're walking around, like I have done, and accidentally time people out, okay? If we can just, not do that would be great. Don't time anyone out. You don't need to time anyone out. Even if they go at me, don't worry about it, honestly. Let them. It's another viewer. Okay. Shadow said, Debs, why is your spanner sticky? Deb said, with the power comes great responsibility. Kai, you want your freaking wrench back? You rolled on your thing last time, didn't you? I remember you hit it by mistake. Shannon said, can I change my spanner into a spork? Should I just make Kai a mod too? An army of fake YouTube Karens we are. Flyby Shoe said, some chance of that have on my tablet. Oh, cool. Yeah, just as long as you, Don't bother modding anyone out, it's all right. And as long as no one accidentally hits buttons and times other people out, that's fine. Okay. Anyway, with that, I don't know what to do. Okay. Should I just go on to Rumble with Streamlabs and not have anyone come up with me? Dealey said, like Kai's channel, everyone's a mod. Yeah, some channels do that. What's that crazy lady name that you post on sometimes have? Which one? Yeah, like accidentally booting out poor Margarita Housewife, yeah. I don't know what's the crazy lady's name you post on sometimes have? I don't know, because there's a few of them. Kai said, no, I dropped it to save King Snurgle Gurgleson when you first started. Shannon said, so begun the Great Spanner Rebellion. Yeah, exactly. Lanazi, do you want one too? Lanazi, do you want a spanner as well? I might just give you one. You can't time people out though. Okay? I'm just going to start moderating everyone then. Yep, let's do a big spanner rebellion. Lanazi, you're now a mod. Okay? Just don't time anyone out. You don't need to do anything at all. Just be you. Because you're fantastic the way you are. Deb said, so why is King not coming back to us? I don't know. I think I asked him if he was being a bit, what is it called? I sensed some animosity, I said. I was joking, but I don't think he took it that way. So do we want to go on to Rumble and just watch? Or should we wait until I can work out StreamYard? Okay, one or the other. Should we wait or should I just go on with Streamlabs? But no one can join me. What do you reckon? I'll leave it to you guys. Start typing in the comments. Deb said his loss, yeah. Timo said, it's a joke, not a dick. No need to take it so hard, King. Alex said, I thought it was ending. I had to play catch up. Dealey said, Rumble? Yeah, we can talk in the chat. Okay, let's do that. We will go over to Rumble. I'll do it by Streamlabs. But we can't have anyone call in, unfortunately, and only because we're watching a show. And if we watch the show, then the person can't see or hear what's going on, and it's terrible. Yeah, so we'll do that. Give me about 10:15 and I'll be over on Rumble. How's that, guys? Okay. Much love, and I'll talk to you soon. See you over there.